Sometimes we shock our fans. We bring the biggest stars in the world on the show. And that's how we do it. If you want to be part of the show, all you need to do is get online right now. For all our friends outside Nigeria who watch and want to share and want to have fun, you can hit us up on www.coolfm.ng, or you can go on Twitter right now and just join the hashtag Superstar Wednesday, because you know it. When we want to have a big chief, right? The first things you roll the red carpets, they're all dancers, and there's always an ovation. And I feel like that should have been the best way to bring this out. But hey, it's a radio station. It's a guy I respect a lot. I know for some reason it is the class that brings his music and the difference. And I always say, for every musician out there, you want to work hard, make sure you bring the touch of magic into what you're doing, right? Ladies and gentlemen, right here on 96.9, with everybody here in Nigeria who listens, you want to talk to one of the hottest stars in the world, and he's in Nigeria, his homeland. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Jidenna, right? How are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, you did roll out the red carpet for me, man. You introduced me
Welcome to Nigeria. You know what? It's good to know that you didn't forget us. You came back home.
I couldn't forget. How can I forget, man? I mean, I grew up in Enugu. I couldn't ever forget, because when I was a child, that's all I saw, So my entire existence as a baby to when I was able to walk, how I learned to speak, the style that I saw, the chiefs, as you said, that I grew up around with my uncles, my father, it's all ingrained in me.
Did you always have to explain your culture to a lot of people? Because you are based in the States.
Yeah, in the States.
You have to always explain, because sometimes you come out, the first question, you came out in an outfit like this. People might ask you questions, why you?
Yeah.
How do you have to explain the brand and who you really are to those who do not even know you?
Yeah, I think it's explaining, but for me it's more creating. Because if I have my own experience, my own life, but I'm really living as a Nigerian American, so I'm really creating a culture, I think, for not just myself, not just my crew, but first generation Nigerians that are in the States or in the UK or wherever the case may be. How do we bring different elements of our culture and make it digestible for the rest of the world or for wherever we're living? What does a chief do in Brooklyn? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So it can't just be at our traditional events in Houston and whatnot. We have to figure out how to do it in daily life.
That's the hardest question. But lately we have our own stars here too. Tiwa Savage is a big star, and now she's signed on. She's actually a management is Rock Nation, and when we see pictures with you guys and together, friends. But people always have this question. Nigerians ask questions a lot. And the fact is, what do you think about Tiwa as an artist and a music? You think you would get the right vibe where you are?
Yeah, actually, we were talking all day at the VMAs about just penetrating the U.S. market specifically and international market. I really believe in her. I do. She has the way she thinks. I can always tell by the precision of an artist's vision whether or not they're gonna go far or go slow. So I believe in Tiwa for sure. I believed in Wizkid even before he penetrated and but I think especially as a female artist, it's generally more difficult in the world, let alone penetrating a foreign market. But I believe that Tiwa has it.
Okay, coming from Jidenna, and I think I like the words like that. He believes in Tiwa Savage, and that's a great thing coming from you and your craft. I want to ask you, because I checked you out, and I see that you said you're influenced by the likes of KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane. The kind of music is, hip hop and that. But I wanted to be able to explain to people what kind of music you do, right? And why do you think those kind of guys actually influence you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan
of the kind of music they do.
Yeah, I'm a fan of new school and old school. For those guys, I think the important thing was, I believe they were chiefs. That's actually why.
Wow.
Like if you look at Kool Herc and KRS-One, Africa Bambaataa, what they were doing was they were connected with everybody. So they were kind of like neighborhood politicians.
Wow.
But they threw parties that were supposed to be safer in the midst of the hoods that they were in. Everybody respected them, so they threw political parties for the gangsters that were in the neighborhood, but also house parties. To me, that's certain elements that I see in chieftains around the world, right? So the old school carries that flavor. But it's not just them, it's the new school, maybe not all the values of different guys now, but I love certain elements that I think actually are very African. Like if you listen to music coming out of Atlanta right now, I'm a big fan of Young Thug, of Future.
Freddie Wap.
Yeah. Listen to their melodies, right? I think it's the first time in hip hop history to me that the melodies and the tones of these guys sounds like a lot of West African artists specifically.
Guys, he's here. He's here. I'm going to touch him for you, don't worry. I'm going to be like, yes, I've touched him. I'm not going to wash my hand for a year. But he's here, and we're so happy that he's here. And we're happy to have him here on the Midday Oasis with Dear to the Team and myself. And I have to ask a question. I love the fact that you're really embracing Nigeria. I mean, was this your plan all along? To always, put your country into everything, put a bit of Africa into your songs?
I mean, I think it's the plan of any artist to put your culture, whatever you grew up on, just mix it in the pot, in the stew, and put it out there. It just so happens that, my mother is American, my father is Nigerian, so it's a very natural evolution for me.
But I mean, some other artists obviously are Nigerian American. We don't do the same thing, so it's not natural for everyone. So I guess you just really love your dad. But we're happy. we're happy to have you do that.
Well, they're doing it now. I'm seeing more Nigerian American artists embrace. So, and even actually just African American artists embracing different styles of fashion. Like you see Beyonce over the last couple of years. Solange, her sister as well, they've embraced, I think, their own heritage. So it's a beautiful thing to see.
Okay, would you ever at any point have a business here in Nigeria, or have to sign any Nigerian artists?
I mean, to be honest, having a label is too much wahala for me. Man. Like, I don't want any of that, man. Like there's other businesses that I'm into, but that's never been a goal. Would I sign one if I had one? Absolutely. But for now, I'm loyal to Wonderland Records. So if you're a Nigerian artist out there listening, then hit up Wonderland Records.
They will hit you up.
Janelle's gonna be.
Okay, I figured we could take a lot more questions, but I want to take something quick from somebody on Twitter, Super Dave, and he said we know him as a rapper. Is he moving into pop now after the Little Bit More song?
Man, Super Dave, that's great. I'm glad that you know me as a rapper. In fact, in the U.S. it's the opposite. People are like, we knew him as a singer, and why is he rapping now? Like those that haven't heard Chief Don't Run or Long Live the Chief, so they're surprised. Like, oh, this is great. He raps too. I'm glad you think the opposite. Moving into pop, man, I just make records. I don't. It's not about pop or hip hop for me. It's just like, does the record sound good? Does it feel good? Does it feel like a day in my life? A little bit more was just a day, and it felt good. So
okay. To wrap it up on the show, can you just speak a little? Can you speak it up? Can you try?
She said, can you try? Beyond Kedu, beyond Adema, beyond Kadafagi. You want me to have a whole conversation?
Are you don't even understand Igbo.
I know, that's why I'm laughing.
Kedu colleagues.
I was like, you guys can speak Igbo, so who am I speaking to?
Anyway, thank you so much.
But you knew Igwe.
Yeah, so Igwe. I have an Igwe. If they call you Igwe, that means you're, you're a chief. And
Eze is a big. Eze is top. Like that's top.
But when people call you Igwe to a certain level, because it sometimes becomes a slang, is that you will have money.
Exactly.
Like you're a boss.
Yeah, you're
of course.
a boss. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Jidenna, for coming
you
on the show.
so
We wish
much.
you could take this on, but you know what? He needs to run, and we're going to find a better time to make this a lot bigger. We're very controversial anyways, but we don't want to go with that. You're a good guy, so you're nice.
Thanks so much for coming on.
You luckily walked out from the craziest guys on radio, which is really nice. But anyways, Jidenna, thank you so much. You guys go and check out the brand new single, A Little Bit More. And
the album.
And the new album too as well.
Buy it as well. Support our brother. Let him have dollars. So when he's coming next time, he will not be spraying dollars on the floor, and I will be picking him.
That's what he is, right? He's still 96.9 Cool FM, the Midday Oasis Superstar Wednesday, and we're having one of the biggest stars in Nigeria coming on the show later on, and he'll be telling you more.
Yes, about his album. Yeah, coming up at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll be right back in the show. Don't touch that radio.
Cool FM, your #1 hit music station.